We are definitely recording.
Awesome.
Should I just show my foot here and not put any socks? I mean, we're home, right? So
You might get some comments. I'd say, go put some socks on.
I got some ugly feet.
You don't have ugly feet, but
Well, look at me. Tell me. Look at me. Tell me I don't have ugly feet.
You don't have ugly feet.
No?
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Honestly Rebecca. Today, I'm so excited to be having the very first of many to come honest conversations. My very first guest is going to be none other than my one and only husband, Victor. This is the first in what is going to be called Honest Conversations. So typically on here, I do short little devos, as you know.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But periodically, probably like once a month, I want to have guests on here.
Well,
Just to have some good.
I guess you made a very bad choice, but
No, I made the best choice. Good, honest conversation. So, we're gonna kick this off. I've got some questions right here on the trusty old.
before I tell you, I'm very proud of you, and I'm very proud of this podcast you're doing. It's reaching out to an amazing number of people, and I'm getting messages.
Thanks.
And like, I didn't know Rebecca could do this and that. I was like, man, you
I
should
can talk.
see what Rebecca can do.
Thank you. You're very
So,
sweet.
I love you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I love you too. Okay. So,
Well, so let's get fun, right? So
have some fun here,
let's break
mister.
the ice.
Okay, so I've got lightning round questions.
Lightning round.
Yes.
Is it gonna be first or is it gonna be after?
What? The lightning round?
Yeah.
No, we're going to start with the lightning round
Oof.
to get us warmed up.
Okay, I'm not energized
ready?
yet, but yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah, hit it.
Can you handle it? How old are you?
34.
Yep.
34. But I don't
That is true.
I don't look 34.
No, you don't.
I look like 27, I would say.
How old am I?
You're 27.
Yes. How old do you
I-
think I look?
26.
Okay.
I kind of
Thanks.
what should I say here? But I think you're a person that reflects your own age.
Okay, thank you.
Oh.
I've been told that I look still like a teenager, so but I appreciate that.
If you were expecting for that, I'm very sorry.
No, I was not. I'm
hit it out
grateful.
of the park.
I think it's a good thing that you don't think I look like a teenager. I think that would be very concerning.
you
Okay.
look like a very beautiful hot mama. So
Oh, wow. Thank you. Okay. Kids?
no.
Yes, we do have
Oh,
kids. No, this is the
no,
next
no.
question. No.
No more kids.
No. But we do have,
We do have kids. Yes.
yes, we have two kids. We have the lovely Hosanna, who is 20 months old, and we have Judah, who is 3 years old, and they are full of personality.
Yeah.
Both of them are full of personality, but two very different personalities.
And they're starting to flourish those personalities. And
Yes.
now okay, so you look like mama. Okay, so you look like daddy. So far, it's been more towards daddy side, I guess.
You think so?
At least for Judah, yes.
I agree. I think Judah's a lot like you.
Yeah, yeah. Hosanna, well, it's still
TBD.
A question, it's still a
TBD.
question mark, but
Yeah. I think that she is
there's
the
some strong mama stuff going on over there.
Yeah, I see some similarities with me, but I think she might be the only one of the four of us that's going to be extroverted. She wants to,
Yeah.
even already.
I
when she hears-
am a social extrovert.
You're a social introvert. You're introverted. Most people wouldn't believe that
But
you're not an
If
extrovert.
I'm in a social setting, I'm an extrovert.
Well, you're
Until
social.
I run out of juice,
but then
and then I'll
yeah.
just want to cry in a
Because
corner.
this is what people don't understand, okay? Because people think that you are
The
full
delight of
on.
the party.
They think that.
Victor is
They
Victor
think
is
that
here,
you're
guys.
like this, but they think that he's like this all the time. And so I get people ask me, like, how in the world, what is life like with Victor? Okay, he is 100% fun all the time. However, after we've been in a social setting,
Mm-hmm.
we will get in the car to come home from like hanging out with friends or something, and he's just silent. Like at the end of a long day, you have to have your
My me
quiet time, your you time. We both like to kind of do our own thing. You like to work on your music. You'll work on something on your computer.
And
I like to read a good book. So
And I told you several times, not that I don't love you. I love you to death. But hey,
yeah,
sometimes
listen,
I just gotta be by myself. So
well, it is the highest compliment to me that you feel comfortable being quiet around me. That's how I feel with that. Because I think that when you're around people you don't know as much, you're kind of,
well,
I don't mean this in a negative way, but you're
different-
putting on you're an entertainer. So you put on a show.
Yeah. Well, you will notice that I'm very if I'm having a very bad time or hard time, that's when you see me performing a lot.
Yes.
Because I'm usually screaming inside of me like, please take me out. Yeah. So
Yeah, but you cover it with humor. But that to say, Hosanna already seems to be the one out of the four of us that is energized by doing stuff and being around people. Judah's kind of like us. He's fun. He's Mr. Mayor. Like, we'll go out in public and he's waving at people.
Yeah.
He's waving at people, all this stuff. But we come home and he says, I think I need to take a break. And he wants to sit and be by himself to refuel.
Sit down and watch TV.
Watch a little T-Rex Ranch. Shameless
T-Rex Ranch.
Shameless plug. Who said I love you first?
Together.
Yeah.
We did it together.
Technically,
July 7th, my birthday.
it was on your birthday?
I think it was our birthday.
I don't think so. Maybe it was.
I think it wasn't my birthday. I wouldn't go to the Brazilian steakhouse for no reason. It was after my belly was full of picanha.
Oh, it was after. Yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah, because I remember staring at that sign. This is so funny. I remember there's a...
You were staring at a sign?
Yes.
Not at me?
Well, I mean, I was looking...
The Chick-fil-A right next?
No,
I love you.
No, there's a cat... there's...
Wait.
I was nervous, so I had to say it to the Nuggets. I'm just kidding. That's what happened.
Said it to the Frosty.
No, there's a cabinet store across the way, and the lights were really bright over there, so they were distracting me. But yes, Victor. Listen, I didn't even remember it was after the steakhouse till you said it. Then I was transported back like that.
Yeah.
So,
No,
okay, wait.
It was a fun day.
It was a fun day, and I will say this: technically, we didn't look at each other and say 1, 2, 3, I love you.
We kind of.
You made me say it first.
No.
Yes, you did. You
said I want to say something, and then you said I think I want to say something too.
And then you said you say it first. I want you to say it first. I don't know if you did that because you're older or what, like that you just wanted to make sure.
That like rom-com typical scene. That it was beautiful. If we had
so
fireworks
beautiful.
that night, it was magical.
Just the cabinet,
Still love you every
cabinet
day.
store neons, shining bright.
Hey, sometimes
Giving that beautiful red glow.
Love has to be declared right next to a feast of a Brazilian steakhouse.
Right after the steak, next to a Chick-fil-A.
I mean, full belly.
Yes.
With the hot girl right next to me.
Ooh, thank you, baby.
I mean, you kind of accomplished, right?
Yeah.
Balling.
Okay. So that was supposed to be the lightning round, but it didn't really feel very lightning. That was some slow lightning. Oh. But okay, so let's get into how did we meet? So, because that kind of goes, we'll just take it back a little bit from there. But we met on the worship team at church.
Yeah.
I was a singer, and Victor played the piano. At that time, I also played acoustic guitar, but on the team that we were on, I was just singing. When we first met, I was still in high school, and you barely spoke English. So that sounds sketchy. We did not know each other really at all. Like, we met, we played together, but we didn't really ever talk.
I couldn't even talk to you.
Right. You talked plenty, but not really like conversations. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Victor was just back there calling chords, and that was about it.
For those ones that don't know, I moved to America about 11 years ago.
Yeah, so when he was 23.
Yeah, so when I moved, I didn't care too much about English back in my childhood or teenager, I guess. I just knew some words here and there. Yeah. And when I moved, I really, really had to dig into what is how to talk, how to interact, how to pull a conversation, how to order, how to, all the American society stuff they go through.
Yeah.
And I made a decision that, when you move to a different country, you could choose to live as an American, here in America, for example, or you can just live in a small community of Brazilians, for example, and never learn the language.
Yeah, especially in a big city like Jacksonville, people would be surprised at how many different cultures are represented and the size of those communities.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea until we started dating the number of Brazilians that live in Jacksonville. So he had decided to immerse himself in the American culture through church was the biggest way for him to do that. So we met on the worship team. I still remember, so this is, I think I've told you this before, but this is my first conscious memory of you. It was one of my first times
singing. Is that when
singing.
I smashed my hat on the cake?
No, I don't remember that.
Oh.
I don't think I was there for that, maybe.
All right.
But anyways, I was driving. Okay. But see, this shows because I'm not surprised that happened. I just don't.
I'm an
don't feel like I was
introvert,
there.
but I do a lot of stupid stuff.
Again, and this was back when you didn't speak much English, and you said, when I'm not comfortable, I do crazy things.
Yeah, didn't speak English.
So how to make friends and influence people, smash your head in a cake. Okay, so my first conscious memory of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm driving to youth for the first time. It was my first time singing in youth.
Mm-hmm.
I was very nervous, a little bit just like, it's just jazzed up. I was very excited.
Sparkle.
And so, you know how the road is? You got this here.
I think I
the
cut
road
you
that the
off
church
that
is
day,
on.
didn't
No, I almost hit you. You didn't cut me off. I was, so you know that turn to go on the main road?
Yeah.
And then you get in two lanes.
Yeah.
I was so used to just kind of merging on over into the left lane of the two that go that way. But you were there, and I almost hit you.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad. And then we parked in the parking lot, and you were a little bit away from me. But I remember thinking,
And say, hi,
do I
hello,
say
are you there? Are you good?
no, you didn't even look. You didn't even look my way. But I remember thinking like I was freaking out because I was already nervous because it was my first time singing in youth. And then I'm like,
Imagine first
do
time
I need to
singing in
say
youth and actually crashing your
that? Well, yeah, thankfully I didn't crash my car, but I almost hit you.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, do I need to say something to him? Does he even know it was me? So I just took my chances that you didn't know it was me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's how we met. And then after a few years.
I don't remember that interaction.
Well, no, because, you didn't, apparently you didn't know it was me in the car. That was my hope and prayer. But after a few years, when I was in college, our team for youth, our worship team for youth got really tight knit.
Yeah.
And we started doing some more stuff together.
Good season, yeah.
Yeah, it was a really fun season. And I remember you offered to drive me a couple of times. We would go out after services with the whole team, and you offered to drive a couple times, and we would sit next to each other. And after probably, I don't know, was that like maybe a month of that, and just kind of getting to know each other.
A month of me Ubering you around.
Not Ubering me around, but you know what I mean. Like just sit next to each other. We kind of were starting to migrate towards each other. Mm-hmm. That's what I would say.
Mm-hmm. You got my number first.
I got your number because I actually already had your number because I like to have people's numbers in my phone. And we were on a group chat.
Learn with the master.
Listen, we were on a group chat.
You don't need to ask for numbers, man.
We were on a...
You don't need to ask for numbers.
Listen.
You just got to have mojo.
Here's the deal.
Brazilian sauce.
Here's the deal. The Brazilian sauce. Goodness. We were in a group chat with the whole youth group. Yep. Not youth group. No. Youth worship team. I used my powers of deduction.
Yeah.
And figured out which number was yours. But I did this before I was like interested in you. I just liked knowing and having names so I could know who was saying what.
Yeah.
So I already had your number.
But then
I asked for it again so that I could be so it could be legit and not like, hey, I got your number off the group chat. So our first date, we were supposed to ride together to a youth leaders event.
Yeah.
And it got rained out.
Was it the same day that we went to the pizza place?
Yeah. And you said, we should just do something together anyway.
You want to grab a pizza? Yeah.
Yeah, and we did.
It was a very nice pizza.
And yeah, it was delicious. And I remember sitting there and telling you about my sister was going to be getting married in December. And I remember telling you that every single Christmas,
yeah,
my sister and I would do like a little slumber party in one of our bedrooms. And I was kind of sad that this was going to be my first Christmas ever, not waking up with my sister on Christmas morning because she was getting married just a little bit before that in December. And I remember you told me that day, you said, well, that's okay. I'll call you on Christmas morning so you won't feel like you're alone.
Yeah.
And I knew you were serious. You weren't trying to be.
Say that with the Brazilian accent back in the time.
No, I can't. I'm gonna
That's okay, sister. Just go.
Sister?
Call you the
No, he
mother.
didn't call me sister. He didn't call me sister. That would have been the end of that. You didn't sound like that either. You can't even do your own accent,
I
man.
can't do it anymore.
No, I know.
I'm too American.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was kind of, I knew you were serious, and then you told me that night you held my hand for the first time in the car, and you said, "Hey, like I will be calling you. I'm not."
Did I call you?
You called me the next day or something, or at least we
No,
talked.
did I call you on Christmas?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, we saw each other.
Probably,
I mean, we
right?
were together, so I feel fairly certain we talked.
Yes, yeah. Merry Christmas.
I mean, I gave you presents.
Yeah, you did. Was it the one that you got me the drone and I crashed it?
We won't talk about that. We'll save that for another podcast on good financial stewardship. All of that to say, yeah, you told me that first date that you were serious and that you really liked me and you were going to pursue me, and that I didn't have to wonder that you were going to be calling me the next day, and you did. And yeah. And then this is my favorite part. So this is before you even said I love you. Remember, we went to get my guitar strings changed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, dude.
after that, we were in the McDonald's drive-through line getting a McFlurry. You ask, do you think this is the last relationship you'll ever be in?
Mm-hmm.
Hold that thought. You get the McFlurry, deal with the McDonald's people,
Very
pay,
strategic, yeah.
and then you come back to it. And I'm like, I think this man just told me he thinks that he's going to marry me.
Why not?
And
Why do you date somebody?
yeah, no, I totally agree. It just that had not been my experience up until that point. So I'm very grateful. And that's how we met. And
You
then,
married a man. A
man,
manly man.
oh man.
Eating McFlurries and
Eating
talking about
McFlurries
deep conversations. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was how we met, how we fell in love rather quickly. And we were engaged. We started dating in June. We're engaged at the end of November, and we're married by May of the following year. So it all happened in, I guess, the course of about a year from when we started, being interested in each other. But yeah.
Again, life is a highway. That's the song we walked out.
Yes, that is the song we walked out of our wedding to, not Taylor Swift. Okay, dude, what's your favorite joke that people want to know?
No. Pass.
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 Okay.
I don't know. Is that what people ask me? What's my favorite joke?
That's
my
what
life?
somebody
I
asked
don't know.
you. You're like. So here's the thing. Victor's not like a knock knock who's there funny guy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Victor's just quick on his feet.
My book of jokes so I can entertain people. I'm sorry, guys, but if you want to be funny in real life.
Okay.
I have no jokes. I'm very
That's
sorry.
okay.
Whoever asked that question, you get a free bonus question that you can ask me later.
Okay. Now, so these next two are a little bit deeper, but we don't have to take too long on them because we've been talking a lot.
Yeah.
But okay.
For about 30
Do
minutes.
wow. All right. Do we have any challenges that come with an intercultural marriage? I know what I think, but I want to know what you think.
Yes, I would say yes, but it makes it easier because you're a Southern Belle. So, just for the fact that you're more family oriented, Brazil is very family oriented. Brazil has a very heavy family decision on things, and so are the Southern people.
Yeah.
And
That's
that
exactly
helps
what I
a
was going to
lot.
say. I actually feel like being in Florida, I had more cultural difference sometimes with people here
Yeah.
than I have with you, because here, like, there's very few people that I know that have really strong family connections here. A lot of people either moved here from for college, or their parents live somewhere else, or even if their parents are in town, it's like they don't really do stuff together. Whereas we're both very connected with our families.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Well,
so that was one of the
there's
reasons.
also like scheduling, but responsibilities. But that varies by
Yeah,
person.
and
It's
that's
not
what I
a
was gonna
cultural
say. Like,
thing.
I don't think any.
But Brazilians are late. If you're scheduling something with
Yeah,
a Brazilian, you expect him to show up 15 minutes later.
yeah, but I feel like
The time.
you've always been
But
pretty
that's by
good.
person. That's by
Yeah,
person.
you've been pretty good at being
Get it
punctual.
together. Show up, earlier.
Yeah, and that has to do more with like values and stuff, which I feel like you always have done pretty good at being
Yeah.
punctual.
No, but I think family decisions, Brazilians way more when it comes to, leaving the home. Like usually, you leave your home as a child
Yeah.
or as a not at when you're 18, but when you get married, and if you don't get married, you're leaving with your parents.
Yeah, in Brazil, that's yeah.
Yeah.
So that was one
So
thing that like so Victor, I had been living outside my parents' home before Victor was living outside his parents' home, which I know you had a little bit in Brazil.
yeah, I did.
But I will say that Brazil is very traditional. So there are some times when like we have hashed it out over our, I would just say even over like our roles in the marriage, and like Brazilian men can sometimes come across a little bit chauvinistic. I don't think that
No,
that's your heart,
no.
but there have
It
been
really
times when when
also
it comes
depends
out.
where you from Brazil.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So some of those things again, I mean, but that's like saying in the South that everybody is a type of way. Well, no, but sometimes those influences come out a little bit. So it's more hashing out like, okay, wait a second, what's from how we grew up
Mhm.
versus what's actually our heart in a situation. But
Mhm.
again, I think that because we both were very family oriented and that's
Yeah.
the cultures we grew up in,
Yeah.
and we also grew up in families that like gathered around the table and eating a lot of food, and my grandfather cooked all the time, and we had
Yeah.
big family, and our
Yeah, big
family's
family
loud,
cookouts
and and you got to
Sunday after
be
church and stuff.
and you got to be loud to be heard,
And we are very loud.
and the Brazilians are very loud people, so yeah. So
Yeah, not a lot.
yeah, so I think we actually had more cultural similarities than differences, me being from South Georgia and from a small town, and him being from
Mm-hmm.
Latin America. All right. This one is another one. Have we had to deal with any toxic family, friends, or environments, and how do we protect our children from that? So that's a pretty deep question. We'll end on
Never
this
asked
one.
that question, brother. If you wanna get treated or something, no, just
No, it's a great question. Honestly, so many people have to deal with this. I
but
wouldn't say we
everybody-
have any. We don't have any.
we don't have anybody that crossed the boundaries.
No, we don't have
But-
any. I wouldn't define any of our family members as toxic by any means. When I say our family members, I do mean our parents, my sister, in-laws. So like
Yeah.
here's our immediate family of 4, and then just one rung out. We don't have any toxic family members that like we have to
I
shield people
would say
from.
that we got to maybe a few situations of like, let's not have this our kids or our settle the situation around this kind of person for now because of
Yeah.
seasonal.
Yeah.
But it's not like don't show up here, I'll shoot you or something. No, it's
Oh my gosh.
like,
No, nothing like that. It's more about we might just have a time where we say, hey, you know what? If we're gonna see, and this is beyond just the family now. This is just in general. If we're gonna see this person, we want it to be in the structure and environment of our own home or out in public or something like that, just so that it's not. So that we kind of have the power in the situation, I would say. But our family, none of our family members are toxic. We have very loving family members.
Yeah.
Both of our parents, our families are Christian, and
well, and my family too is in Brazil, so
Yeah.
I mean they
so
kinda-
he moved to another country to get away from them. I'm just kidding.
yeah,
I'm just kidding. I'm
definitely.
just kidding.
No, definitely.
We love
No,
them.
You're not kidding.
I'm kidding.
Kidding.
No, we love them. But yeah, so and as far as environments go, honestly, where we are in our culture today is the world is quote unquote toxic. The world, we're in the world, but we're not of the world.
Yeah, I honestly rather have all my kids with me at my
Yeah.
reach every day than actually trying to go outside and do something.
Yeah. So that's the thing is honestly for us, so we're planning to probably homeschool, and we all are together a lot because I work from home. Victor's able to work from home some. He's got a unique work schedule. So he's on sometimes, off sometimes. So he's able to be home and be with us. And I think that's the most important part is we want to put our kids not sheltered, but we want to protect our children. And we want to raise them up in a good, godly family and a good, godly environment. And to me, that's the most important part. Like, there's definitely situations that either are unsafe or, quite frankly, might just be not what we want for our family. And so we're just going to make a different choice. And I think that's the most powerful part is you literally can just make a different choice. Even if it's with a family member that may be going through a hard season or with friends that you're just not quite like whatever it may be, or honestly, even if you're just not feeling peaceful about a situation, I just, my go-to is following the peace of the Holy Spirit. And if I'm not comfortable with something, I'm practicing. This is something I'm constantly having to grow and practice, but you can say no and you can make a different choice.
Yeah.
And when the kids come into the picture, that is the most important thing. And that actually has helped me a lot, honestly, growing in being able to speak for myself is remembering that I've got two beautiful little lives in my care now. And I'm so grateful for them and would do anything for them.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
After 43 minutes.
Yeah, that was, we didn't, we were not, we'll cut some stuff out. We were not very lightning on our lightning round. No. But we also don't get to talk like this very much. The kids are both asleep, and normally about this time we're
doing our own thing,
doing our own things, trying to settle for bed and all that. So this was nice talking to you, bro.
Nice talking to you. Yeah, I think it was the longest in a long time.
Yeah, this was a nice little chit chat. All right. Thanks for joining me. I love you.
Of course, anytime.
Appreciate you.
I'll be on the other room.
Okay, sounds good. I'll see you. See
you later in bed.
Yes.
Sleep.
I might pop some popcorn and we can chill out for a little bit.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Peace.
See you later, guys.